Welcome to CBS This Morning. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam says he is not going anywhere. He plans to stay in office in spite of a racist photo printed in his medical school yearbook. In an interview you'll see only on CBS News, we spoke with the Democratic governor yesterday who still faces calls to resign. He admits to us he struggled in his initial response to that photograph on his yearbook page. Northam now says this is a teaching moment for himself and the country. A Washington Post poll over the weekend shows Virginians are split on whether he should stay in office, but more than half of Black Virginians do not think that he needs to step down. Here's part of our conversation with the governor. What have you learned that you didn't know before?
Well, several things, starting with I was born in white privilege, and that has implications to it, and it is much different the way a white person such as myself is treated in this country.
Did you not know that you were born into white privilege?
I knew I was, Ms. King, but I didn't realize really the powerful implications of that. And again, talking to a lot of friends, that has come crystally clear to me this week. I've also learned why the use of blackface is so offensive. And yes, I knew it in the past, but reality has really set in.
But Governor, it's hard for people listening to you, an educated man at the age of 59, to say that you're just learning about the history of it. You didn't know the history and know that it was offensive before?
I think we're all on a learning curve, and certainly, Ms. King, I am not the same person now at age 59 that I was back in my early 20s.
But your early 20s was 1984, not 1964.
That's right, yes.
So you would think in 1984 that this was certainly a problem back then?
I don't think there's any question that there are today, and there were then, when I was in my early 20s, racial insensitivities. I think there's still unconscious attitudes that, yes, we are aware of these things, but we don't realize sometimes, especially as a white person, how impactful, how offensive they are. And again, I've still got a lot to learn, but this has been a week that has been very eye-opening for me.
Mm-hmm. Did you have Black friends growing up?
I did. I grew up on the Eastern Shore in a very rural area. When I was in the 5th grade, schools were desegregated. So from the 6th grade through the 12th grade, I was in integrated schools, and yes, so I grew up in that environment.
See, that's which makes it even harder for us to understand. You had Black friends or grew up with Black people, so it would seem that you would be more sensitive and more aware of that.
I don't have any excuses for what I did in my early life, but I can just tell you that I have learned. I have a lot more to learn. I'm a better person, and here, as I sit as a 59-year-old man governing the Commonwealth of Virginia, this is really an opportunity, I believe, to make awareness of this issue, to really have a frank dialogue and discussion about race and equity in this country.
Let's go back to the picture, and I know you've addressed it, but it still raises so many questions for people.
Absolutely.
Why do you think it came out now?
I don't know, but this is really the first time I have ever seen that picture.
How could that be? It's on your yearbook page, Governor.
Well, I was shocked to see it, and I really believe the fact that if you look at the unpreparedness of me to react to this, both on Friday night and Saturday, that really confirms that this is the first time.
Well, let me ask you this. Are those your pants? Those pants are very distinct. Do you have a pair of pants that look like that?
I have never had any pants like that.
You first said that it was, well, first you said you wouldn't say which one was you. That was the first thing. And then you said, then you came and apologized for being in the picture. Why would you apologize for something that horrific if you're not 100% sure that it's you?
Well, I definitely overreacted. And again...
but why'd you do that?
Well, when you're in a state of shock like I was, we don't always think as clearly as we should. I will tell you that later that night, I had a chance to step back, take a deep breath, look at the picture, and said, this is not me in the picture. And I also had a number of friends and classmates from medical school that called and said, Ralph, that is not you. And that was comforting as well.
But Governor, that's a hell of an overreaction for something that is so sensitive and so offensive and so explosive, to take responsibility without really knowing for 100% that that's me.
Yes. Again, when I stepped back and looked at it, I just said, I know it's not me in the Klan outfit, and I started looking in the picture of the individual with blackface, and I said, that's not me either. And that's why I felt so strongly about going in front of the camera on Saturday and clarifying this.
But instead of clarifying at a press conference 9 days ago, he raised more questions, admitting to wearing shoe polish to darken his face, impersonating Michael Jackson for a dance competition.
That's right.
Are you still able to moonwalk?
Inappropriate circumstances.
My wife says inappropriate circumstances.
For many of us watching, it looked like you were about to actually demonstrate the moonwalk. Were you thinking about showing off your moonwalking skills?
No, because
No?
I don't have those at age 59. But I will tell you, Gayle, I regret that. This is a serious moment.
It's very serious.
And whether it was a nervous laugh or whatever, it was inappropriate.
So you weren't thinking about doing it when you looked over at the floor? You were not thinking about doing a moonwalk?
No.
Many people credit Pam, your lovely wife, for stepping in at that point.
Let me just
Another
tell you-
reason to be nicer on Valentine's Day for you, sir.
Gayle, let me just tell you that as we say, I'm married way up, and I would not be sitting here having this conversation if it wasn't for my wife of 33 years.
What do you say to people that are looking at this story, if you do stay in office, which you say you are, someone that commits a racist offense and says, well, the governor did it, and he's okay?
Yeah.
Do you think it sends a message that this isn't being taken seriously if you stay in office when so many people at the highest levels want you to step down?
You know, I'm not here to make any excuses, but I will tell you that the man that you're looking at right now at age 59, who has given over 35 years of service to the United States Army. I have taken care of thousands of sick children and have had over 12 years of public service to the Commonwealth of Virginia. The man you're looking at and talking to right now is not who I was in my early 20s. I have learned, I admit to my mistakes, and I'm going to improve my life and do better and be in a position where I can help other people. That's why I do what I do, Gayle. Every morning I get up. If I feel like I'm helping people, then that makes me content.
Yeah, it's a very interesting time for the governor, because what I walked away feeling is that he so wants to make this right. And I talked to many black people and white people in Virginia who say he has a lot of support in the state of Virginia, who say, look at his history, look what he's done. No one, the people I talked to, do not believe that he's racist. They think that it was a stupid thing, but they do not think that he's a racist person.
Gayle, it was such a good interview, and I think what you did, it was try and broaden the lens.
Yes.
Give us more
yes.
context behind when we judge people very quickly and give a larger scope of this. His career includes working as a pediatric neurologist, visiting the homes of hundreds of African-American families in crisis. He went to an integrated school. His parents could have sent him to a private all-white school, as the New York Times points out today. We have to view this in context and what we can learn from it.
Yeah, no question he's had some missteps. But
Yeah.
I saw an interesting article over the weekend, guys, where it said, is there anybody out there that can't say they did something stupid in their 20s or in their 30s?
Well, then the
Think about
fascinating
that.
question will be to take the experience from the past and what he's going through now and bring it to the present. When he talks about unconscious attitudes of today,
Yeah.
Yes.
what is he identifying? And what light does he shine on those, and new understanding does he show? That's in the moment now. That's not about something that happened in the past.
Exactly.
And so that's what lays before him. He was quite vague, but what he brings forward and what everybody sees from this about what goes on today and what's unconscious today is really interesting.
Yeah, and what resonated was him saying multiple times, no excuses, right?
Yes,
We didn't hear
yes,
that last
yes.
Friday.
No, he's not trying to explain it. And he has some explaining to do. I asked about the shoe polish comment.
Yeah.
You know, there's still more to come when talking to the governor.
We'll hear more of that. Very
At
important
8
interview,
o'clock.
Gayle.